Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about my 5 favorite fragrances for the evening, my 5 favorite daytime fragrances. Now I like to rotate through my wardrobe depending on the season, depending on how hot it is, depending on what I'm wearing, what I'm doing, where I'm going, but generally these are the ones if I'm looking for a daytime perfume or a nighttime perfume that I'll generally just kind of grab and go with. So I'm going to start off with these, and as I go more in depth into my collection, obviously I'll let you guys know if there's other ones that I prefer as well. But I wanted to share to you my top 5 of the evening and daytime fragrances. So if you'd like to know what I love, keep watching. Always with all of my fragrance videos, I'm going to below I'm going to list all the fragrances and all the main notes that I get out of them. So I'm going to kind of touch on these a little bit because there is a ton of them and I don't want this video to be too long, but if you want to know a little bit more, definitely check the description box below. This is one of my favorites and it's Acqua Fiorentina from Creed. I got a big one of this guy. I love this. I get bergamot, lemon, prune, rose, carnation, pear from this. It is just gorgeous. It's very bright, it's beautiful, sophisticated, and what I love about this as a daytime perfume is it's very fresh. A lot of times during the day, because Florida is so hot, I don't want anything too heavy or sticky flavored. I want something to be more bright and fresh and just citrusy and fun, and this embodies all of that. I also love the longevity that this has on my skin. When I first put this on, I get a blast of lemon and bergamot, and as it warms up, I get more of the fruity notes of it, and then as it wears longer, I get the floral note to this. So the entire duration that this is on my body, and this lasts for a long time. This lasts for like 4 to 5 hours, which is a pretty decent because of my environment, where I live, and my skin. Generally, perfumes last 3 to 4 hours on me. The fact that this lasts the longer, and the entire lifespan of the perfume on my skin, it just smells beautiful. So this is definitely one of my absolute favorite daytime fragrances. Is Bamboo Harmony from by Kilian. I love this. I get mimosa, bergamot. I get a lot of like white tea almost. This is beautiful. I love the oak moss mixed with the bergamot. This just is a beautiful, sophisticated, mature, bright, fresh fragrance. I got this bottle. I think this is the Matisse limited edition bottle. I don't quite remember. I know that it can also come in the classic bottle, but I actually really liked how this one looks. It's very fun. But if you go to a counter and you look for this, you'll probably be able to find it in the classic by Kilian bottle. But what I love about this fragrance also is its longevity. It goes on my skin. The lifespan of this perfume is very, very long. Most, if not all, of the by Kilian fragrances or the Kilian fragrances last forever on me. And I mean forever, like 6, 7, 8 hours. And throughout their entire lifespan, the integrity of the fragrance remains intact. This starts off very heavy on the oak moss, very green, very citrusy, and then as it warms up in my skin, it gets a little bit more sweet, but still remains just very substantial in its like green citrus note. It's gorgeous. This is also sexy on men and women. Anyone can wear this. I mean, again, as always, anyone can wear anything, but this is just one of my favorite, beautiful, everyday daytime fragrances, especially if I'm going to go someplace a little bit nicer. If I'm going to go to a museum, if I'm going to go to an art exhibit in the daytime, if I'm going to go shopping at some higher end stores, this is definitely the perfume that I grab. Next up is from Jo Malone and it's Wild Bluebells. I love this. The bluebell mixed with the musk, mixed with the amber and the jasmine. It's just a beautiful, very flirty fragrance. If you want something sweet and floral without being too sickening, like sticky sweet, this is fantastic. This also, although other Jo Malone fragrances don't generally last a long time on my skin, this one lasts about 3 to 4 hours, which is really nice. I also like how feminine this is. and how it's not as heavy as other floral fragrances. It doesn't fill a room, but it leaves a really nice wake. So you're gonna have a nice, gentle floral fragrance behind you without people like gagging from how heavy it is. I would definitely recommend this one if you're looking for something very floral and fun and you work in an office and you want something that not everyone is going to wear but is going to be really beautiful. Definitely check this one out. It's lovely and it is bright enough and fresh enough to be perfect for daytime. Next up is the one I'm wearing today, and it's from the Armani Prive. This is Eau De Jade. I love this one. Obviously, I'm wearing it today. This is bergamot, this is pepper, this is neroli. This is just gorgeous. I love how fresh this smells, and I love that it's citrus without the bite that some citrus fragrances can have. Sometimes if they're too citrus, too bergamot, too lemon, they almost like sting. This one is a very soft citrus. I love it. I also adore the longevity on this one as well. This one will last me about 5 to 6 hours of wear without having to reapply. This one first applied to my skin is super strong in the citrus, and you definitely get the hints of neroli. And as it warms up on my skin, the pepper comes through, and good lord is that delicious. So this is one of my absolute favorite daytime fragrances. I reach for this one all the time. I know most of these, if not all of these I've talked about, have been mostly citrus, and I wanted to bring another floral to the party, and this is the Feminin Pluriel, I can never pronounce this name, from Maison, France. It's Kurkdjian. I love this one. I get patchouli, vetiver, rose, iris, violet. This is just beautiful. It is bright and floral and fresh, and it's just really like, I don't want to say that it's exotic because it's not exotic, it's just like a beautiful garden. When you first spray this, you get the blast of floral, but as it warms up on your skin, you start to get the other notes from it. It becomes very fresh, very almost wet, and just overall it's beautiful. I'm going to read you again all the notes in this because there's a lot, and I'll let you know which ones I definitely get out of this. It has iris, violet, grass rose, Egyptian jasmine, lily of the valley, orange blossom, vetiver, and Indonesian patchouli. I get the rose and iris from this immediately, and then the vetiver and the patchouli come later, but without being overpowering and being very fresh. This smells like how you would think like a maid of honor's bouquet would smell, or like a flower girl, like how you think a flower girl would smell. I know that sounds really like a bizarre way to describe this fragrance, but that's what this smells like to me. It's fresh and youthful without being like juvenile, and it's just beautiful. Alright, now we're gonna go on to my nighttime fragrances, or my evening fragrances. Now these fragrances can be worn day or night, but I generally like to wear a little bit brighter, lighter, fresher fragrances in the daytime, and I like to go a little bit more dark and not mysterious, but a little bit more deep when it comes down to my nighttime fragrances, and you'll see what I mean when you see my picks. The first one I want to talk about is Roja Dove, the Roja Parfums Enslaved. This is probably one of my most expensive bottles of perfume. In fact, I think it is, unless you consider some of my bigger bottles of Creed. I love this. This is just delicious. This smells very basic, but it smells like how you think basic should smell. When I first smelled this, I actually wasn't impressed by it, but the more I experienced it, the more I fell in love. This to me smells like how if you got into an elevator with a sophisticated, impeccably dressed woman, this is what she would smell like. That's just to me what this smells like. And so whenever I wear this, I just imagine that I'm that confident, mature fashionista, even though I'm far from it. I'm going to read you all the notes in this because there are a lot. Again, I'm going to list everything below as well, but I did want to list all of these and let you know which ones got on my skin. I pick up mostly when I wear. Okay, so we got bergamot, orange, lemon, geranium, orange blossom are the top notes. The heart notes are rose, ylang-ylang, jasmine from grass, carnation, and clove. Base notes are oak moss, cedarwood, vetiver, patchouli, ladanum, and ambergris. Okay, I get literally no bergamot, orange, or lemon in this. I don't get any type of citrus. None. I get Ylang-Ylang, I get jasmine and rose, and I get cedar. Oh my god, like a hair in my mouth. I'm trying to talk about nice perfume with like hair in my mouth. Ugh. I get like deep floral and cedar, and I love the cedar in this. It is incredible. I get a touch of patchouli as it warms up on my skin, but upon first, like when this first goes on my skin, it is literally jasmine and Ylang-Ylang and rose, and then bam, after about 15 to 20 minutes where it's warmed up, the cedar comes to the party and it's just impeccable. That's the best way I can describe this perfume. It is impeccable. It is an impeccable perfume, really, truly, honestly. If you like classic perfumes, if you like mature smelling perfumes, and I don't mean that in a bad way. Like when I think of mature perfumes, I think of classics. I think of Chanel No. 5 or Coco Chanel or Shalimar from Guerlain. This is one of those just impeccably beautiful classic perfumes that if you like those, you'll love this. I love this for nighttime. I love to wear this if I'm going to go out to a nice dinner or if I'm just going to go out and just be social. I'm not very social at night. So this is definitely one that I like to spritz when I am going to be more social and do something a little bit fancier in the evening rather than just sit in my pajamas and PJs and watch cartoons. So yeah, I love this one for the evening. Next up is Liaisons Dangerous. I can't pronounce words. I'll link it below. From by Kilian. This is Floral and Cinnamon. I love this one because it is fresh. You get a lot of geranium in it, but it's got like this hit of cinnamon that is so good. I also like this because it's not heavy as my other evening scents, but it still is very substantial. And I also like that this will last throughout the entire evening without losing the integrity of the perfume, even if I'm in an area where there's a lot of competing scents. So this is generally the perfume that I will wear if I'm going out to dinner, if I'm going to some place that's very busy, like the theater or a show or anything like that, or a concert. This is fantastic. I also like how it is not simple, but it's very minimal while still being beautiful and distinctive. It's going to not smell like everyone else is going to smell, but it's not going to be overpowering and it's not going to be busy. It's just really beautiful. Next up is Neroli from Serge Lutens. Okay, so in this I get myrrh, I get fig, I get date, I get cedar, and although I don't believe it has any of it in it, I get a very distinct, almost licorice vibe to this fragrance. When I first experienced this, I didn't like the licorice because I'm not a huge licorice fan, but as soon as I started wearing this, because I did get a little sample of it, it warmed up on my skin and it opened to this beautiful fruity incense. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. This is one of the fragrances I do not like until it's warmed up on my skin, but good lord, when it does, is this beautiful. I love it. It just smells gorgeous. I love the myrrh in this, and I love the way it plays really beautifully with the fig and the date. So yeah, this is from Serge Lutens. This is one that I'll probably wear if I'm just around the house or if I might go out to dinner with my husband or my mother-in-law or my parents. It's not anything that's substantial that really deserves a special night out, but anytime I wear this, I just feel really happy and beautiful, and I feel like I smell amazing. Next up is from Byredo, I think that's how you pronounce it, perfumes. I don't know why this thing keeps going over there. I know this area is kind of gross. I promise you it's going away. This is Byredo perfumes. This is black saffron. I get pomelo, which is a sweeter version of grapefruit. I get saffron. I get vetiver. I get fruit. It's sweet, but it's spicy. I'm going to read to you again all the notes because a lot of these niche brands have a lot of different notes to them that really build this beautiful juice. The top notes are pomelo, saffron, and juniper berry. I don't really get any juniper from this, but that's probably just me. The heart notes are black violet, leather accord, and crystal rose. I don't get any of the leather in this. Again, that's probably just me. The base notes are cashmeron, raspberry, and vetiver. I do get the raspberry as this warms up, but mostly what I get is the pomelo, the saffron, and the rose. I adore this. I love this house of perfumes. I only have this fragrance from them because they're a little bit expensive and it's hard for me to sample. So generally what I'll do is if I place an order for Lucky Scent, I will ask for a sample of this house. I usually get this and Amouage to try out to see if I like, but I love this. Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous. I like this in the evening because it is a little bit lighter, kind of like this one from by Kilian. It's a little bit lighter and fresher, but it still is substantial and deep and mature, which is what I really love for nighttime fragrances. Believe it or not, my husband hates perfume. I know. He's like, ah, because he's just not into, he likes fresh smells. He likes the Demeter fragrances because he likes things to have 1 or 2 notes. So a lot of my fragrances that have a lot of complexity to him, he just can't, I don't want to say that he doesn't understand, he just doesn't appreciate, which is fine. Not everyone's going to like it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this is one of them that I can wear at night if we're going to do something that really only, like for him, he can really only pick up the saffron and the pomelo. And for me, I get the saffron, pomelo, and the rose. So this has a beautiful maturity to it at night, which is what I really love. And it doesn't overpower his nostrils, and he does enjoy this. So this is why I love this one for the evening. If I'm going to have to choose one fragrance that describes exactly what I'm looking for in an evening scent, it's definitely this one. And this is Memoir, the woman's fragrance from Amouage. Oh my freaking goodness, this fragrance is amazing. Again, this has so many different notes. I'm going to read them to you. Again, everything's going to be below, but like, just listen. Okay, it has mandarin, cardamom, absinthe, and pink pepper. The heart notes are pepper, clove bud, opulent white blossoms, rose, jasmine, precious dark wood, and frankincense. The base notes, and I'm going to completely butcher this, Strix, oak moss, castoreum, leather, labdanum, fenugreek, and musk. Okay, I get cardamom, I get pink pepper, I get frankincense, I get clove, I get rose and jasmine and musk and leather. This is so gorgeous. I literally, like, when I bought this blind, I read the notes, a bunch of people were telling me how good it was, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give it a go. I love Amouage. I think I'm pronouncing the name wrong. Amouage. I'm really bad at describing names. I'm so sorry, or pronouncing names. And like, I was like, I'm gonna buy this blind. I'm gonna take a chance on it. I'm so glad I did. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. Literally, it smells the way I think like velvet would smell. It is like the leather and the oak moss and the jasmine and the rose just play beautifully with the pepper and the frankincense. It is like sultry and mature, but like a delicious mature. Like, you ever see like a woman who's like obviously older, but she's like sexy and beautiful, and just you look at her and you're like, damn. That's this. This is like a damn perfume. It's so good. I also love the bottle. I like magnetic tops. I don't know why. I'm so silly. But this is just, if you had to experience one of these perfumes that I'm talking about out of all 10, this one. Absolutely this one. This is the perfect example of what I'm talking about for a nighttime fragrance. I love it. It is syrupy, but it's not a gourmand. It is literally like beautiful incense in a gorgeous den of a sultry woman who's ready to just take your breath away. Or a gorgeous man. Whatever you would describe someone who's sultry and sexy and mature, like in the most positive, amazing way. I just can't talk enough about how much I love this fragrance. Alright, those are my favorite daytime and evening fragrances. I'm just going to give you my top 2. Obviously, my favorite evening fragrance is definitely this one. Oh, it's so delicious. And then for my morning, everyday, daytime fragrance that I reach for all the time that I love, that's probably the epitome of what I'm looking for in daytime fragrances. It's going to be the Eau De Jade from Armani Prive. Anyway, yeah, I hope you liked this video. I spent some time trying to figure out the ones that I liked. If you guys want a more in-depth review on any of these fragrances, let me know below. If you have a favorite evening or daytime fragrance, let me know below. If you have any recommendations based on the things that I love that you think I'd like to try, let me know below. I'm all about this being a conversation. I love talking fragrance. In any case, if you like videos like this, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing videos like this, and also don't forget to subscribe. It's free, I'm free, and I put out new videos every Monday through Friday, and sometimes also on the weekends, so I'll always have something for you to watch. In any case, I hope you guys are all happy and healthy and have a great day, month, year, whatever, and I'll see you next time. Bye!